camels are dying because of the plastic we leave behind in the desert. So today we're talking about the Lost Camel Stunt. This was a viral campaign by EDB, Emirates Development Bank, who decided to shed light on the critical issue in the UAE. So did you know that 50% of camel deaths in the region are attributed to plastic left behind in the desert? Thanks to Emirates Development Bank, a groundbreaking campaign has been launched to raise environmental awareness.
So here's what's been happening. Some campers go to the deserts and after a barbecue, they leave their plastic behind thinking it will just disappear, but it's actually killing camels. Now, as well, according to research by Dr. Ulrich Wernery, the scientific director of CVRL, the Central Veterinary Research Laboratory in His Highness Vet Center, the problem stated around 25 years ago when they found the first dead camel with a plastic ball in his stomach.
It's so sad to think that this is happening because of our actions. Since then, plastic in the desert has killed more than 300 camels in the region. What's happening is so basic. They find the plastic, they eat it, and as it stays inside their stomach, they can't digest it. So over time, their stomach gets full, so then they eventually stop eating and starve to death, or they die from plastic intoxication.
As well, to put an end to this, EDB crafted a powerful message using a 3D printed camel made from recycled desert plastic, which was showcased at COP28. And the message was, pick up after yourselves, tell your friends and family not to leave plastic behind.
I think the message is clear. Tell your friends, tell your family, and I think it's something that we need to pass down to our kids, that the environment is not a place that we leave our rubbish behind. On a basic level, like, should we be recycling? Yes, but to leave your trash behind in the desert, I think that montage leaves something better 100%. Than when you found it. The fact that we have the most glorious desert that hasn't been cordoned off. Sometimes, it could be a public park, you may not be able to enter, but the fact that at the weekends we essentially have free reign across the country to go out, explore, have barbecues. But if we continue to damage the desert in this way, as Farah said, that research was done by His Highness's Veterinary Center, in which they found that 50% of camels in the region are dying because of plastic consumption. Just, a massive shout out to Emirates Development Bank for putting it in our faces with this really cool campaign. It just really highlighted, especially at COP28, where the world's eyes were seeing it, and hopefully it will inspire us into action.
I mean, it's 2024, and even kids are aware of the issue of the environment and so on. So at this point, if you're throwing your plastic water bottles and so on, just don't do it, because at this point it's harming, like other beings. It might not necessarily harm you as a person, but it's harming the environment, and it's harming as well, like camels. It harms all animals at this point. So just put an end to it. And if one person just stops, I think it's just gonna stop eventually.
And what I think is really interesting is that I believe there's quite an awareness in schools for the environment and for sustainability. However, it actually comes from the adults, is that you go out to the desert, the amount of trash left behind is just, in some of the lake districts and not too far from Dubai, people are leaving a crazy amount of rubbish after weekends. Sometimes it's a popular area, so the lake says people to clean up after it, but that shouldn't be the given. You shouldn't just expect that, okay, because I'm in this area, it'll be picked up after me. So it has to come from the adults.
Exactly.
We are going to teach our kids the lessons that they need to pass to their kids, so it has to come
100%.
from us.
Just don't depend on, any workers that are working for the environment at the beach or at the desert and so on. Just pick up after yourself, because you never know, one missed plastic bottle can, result in a camel dying.